It's the final countdown. 22, a 22, the final countdown.
I don't think I'll ever be the same after hearing that.
Bill, welcome to the show. I've got your icon. Let's get your guest icon up there. Whoops, where we go. Hit the right
Usually
button.
you make them
There we go.
disappear and everybody goes
Yeah.
back.
I do. Normally I do the static thing, but it's Bill. We all know Bill, so we'll leave him there.
Well,
We
I
have-
didn't know Bill.
Well, you
know.
didn't. You know him now.
I know him
You-
now,
you
but
talked
you know,
You
beforehand.
do now. Yep.
So we are here, kicking it old school. Happy New Year edition. End of 2022. Thank God. Let's get rid of these 20.
Good riddance.
The 2020s have not been off to a very good start. What do you think, Bill?
No, not at all.
We got a new disease, global disease. Then we got really bad arcade products that came out, and oh man, it's just a shit show, as they say. We'd rather forget it.
It's been a disaster of 2022, really, so far. I think so
Well,
anyway.
We got a few days left, and then we're out of the woods, hopefully.
Yeah, maybe it'll get
But-
better.
Let's hope.
What, we got like a day left?
Yeah, that's how it works. On January 1st, it gets better all of a sudden. All of a sudden. So welcome everybody. How many people we got? I got my phone, so I don't see the chat. I don't see anything. So I'll be a little useless tonight.
There's no difference. Come on. Let's
Come
be
on.
honest, Steven. Let's be Steven. Let's be
Okay,
honest.
I'm useless all the time. Fantastic.
We got Bobby Broadway. We have Adam. Jen says she can't find the show, but I know we're streaming because we're here. We have Mary, a friend of mine from Florida. She's warm. So we'll wave hi to her for being warm.
I don't know about high, but especially me with a few feet of snow here. Yeah.
You got a few feet of snow right now?
Well, it for some reason it melted today, but I'm not kidding. We had literally about a foot and a half of snow fall on.
Well,
Christmas Eve.
Wow.
We didn't get the Buffalo, New York craziness thing, but we got a pile of it. So who else we got? We got who else? I don't see anybody. So do we have our regulars?
They will be here. Well, it's also, you got to realize, it's also the Friday before a big holiday. But we do have Adam. We do have a bona fide picker. We have Mary Sherlock, who said hello. So I'll say hey back to Mary. Of course, we have Adam, who's always here. And Bayou Broadway. There's some other people in as well. But, this show is really going to be, Paul's here. Paul just joined as well. This is going to be the ultimate of our, like, Seinfeld-style show where we don't really talk about anything. Arcade Workshop is here as well.
Do we? Is this the episode that we give the middle finger to 2022
Kind of.
and the open arms to 2023, or do we just sort of passive aggressive deal with it? Or
I figured
how are we doing this?
Sir Sega's here as well. Today's really about just 2022 as a whole. Like, what we thought about it, and not necessarily gaming.
You said it, man. As a whole.
As a whole, I'm talking not just gaming.
Throw garbage in.
Oh, and you're disappearing a little bit. You're shrinking over there. Incredible shrinking. Steven.
You're shrinking my
There you
head.
go. You came back.
No, that's
All right, you're
crushing
back.
your head.
So we have Jeff D as well. So, like for me, there's some new shows coming in 2023 like I can't wait for, right? The new season of Mandalorian is supposed to be coming out. Invincible is supposed to be coming out. So 2022, I've been kind of salivating for these shows because there's been other shows that have been out that are like
Garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, like I
garbage.
I won't watch She-Hulk. I think you guys have both watched She-Hulk. I won't watch She-Hulk.
It was okay.
Yeah,
it wasn't
pretty
fantastic, but it was okay. It was watchable. It's not something I'd want to watch 10 seasons of, but one season was okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to see her as a secondary character in some movies with Daredevil and stuff like that, or appear on the Daredevil TV series that's supposed to come out soon, I guess.
Okay.
But that's about it, But too much of She-Hulk.
Well, Bobby,
I love that actress for
Bobby
sure.
Broadway
She's
just
awesome.
put in. He says that he's hearing The Last Starfighter 2 is supposed to be coming out. You guys hear anything about The Last Starfighter 2? I'd like to see that.
I heard
That'd be
rumors
cool.
like a while ago that they talked about making it, but I haven't really seen anything on it.
As a series or a movie?
Sounds like a movie.
Movie, I
Or
think.
Starfighter 2.
Netflix movie, probably.
That could be.
It's probably a Netflix
some of these
thing,
things, they wait too
guessing.
long. They wait too long for some of these things.
Well,
The Last Starfighter was, I thought, good enough where it should have had a sequel, many moons ago. They're talking about Tron 3 again.
Yeah.
Now, when they're going to do it every 10 years, you'll have another Tron come out, something like that. It's just,
yeah.
some of these things are too far. And then you have other stuff that's just garbage. Like, I was told to watch A Strange World. It was a Disney animated thing. I watched it, and I'm not gouging my eyes out, but I'm just like, I don't know. Some of these things are
It's
just
almost like that show from Disney that they hyped the crap out of. It was wasn't even that. It came out a few years ago. I don't want to say Jack Reacher. It's the name of a guy. It's like a science fiction Mars thing. Do you remember that? It was this unknown actor. What was it called? I forget. Anyways, that show bombed at the box office. They had hyped the crap out of it, and it was pretty sad. So hopefully 2023 will be better. as far as production and movies that come out and stuff like that, and
well, Bill, for you,
and whatnot.
We'll see.
So
what was your high point? Let's start with Bill. Bill, what was your high point?
yeah, he's our guest.
Aside from meeting me, what was your going to the show?
That was
Going to the
definitely up
show and not freaking out too much when we driving.
Yeah.
Outside of that, what was your big thing for 2022?
There were a couple of things for sure. I mean, obviously, this is my first year as a content creator, so just doing this and meeting people and getting in on the community was probably the biggest high point for sure. And just getting into all of this stuff, kind of getting back into all of this stuff, because I've always loved these old games, for years and years. So kind of getting back into retro games, playing them on emulators, playing them on home arcades and dedicated machines has just been really fun getting into the hobby.
Cool.
But about you, Steven, what was your big thing of 2022?
Going
the
to Disney
the
World
positive.
with the kids.
Disney World, okay. But on that trip,
Well,
was
we
it
went.
was it Disney World or was it something else
Disney
in
World.
Disney World?
You mean something specific?
Yeah, I mean, was it? I know you went to NASA. I know you went there and Disney World, and
Well,
you
we
a lot
went
of
to
places.
NASA. We went to Universal Studios. Each had their own little
Mhm.
strengths, we'll call it. We did Kennedy Space Center. We did all 4 parks at Disney World, and then we did 2 days at Universal Studios. And I wouldn't go back to Kennedy Space Center more than once. It wasn't terrible. It was just something you don't go see 3
Because you
times.
didn't go in the back room, Steve. You go in the back room, they take care of you. You must have missed that.
There's a
room.
back room.
There's a
Okay.
back room.
I didn't know there was a champagne room at NASA, but it's like, okay, fine.
Got to go to the SpaceX area. That's where they party.
Yeah, that's right.
Of course.
But you know what? Disney is. I'll be honest with you. For me, 2022 was difficult, right? And going to Disney really lightened the mood and was very positive. And it sounds really cliche to say that, but it did me some good to go there. You know what I mean? So for me, it was that trip, and I got to go with my kids, my wife. Everybody had a great time. My friend from Florida let us stay at his place. God bless him. So that for me was the big deal. Was that trip? It was great. We had great weather. We had everything. We missed a typhoon by a month, so that was great.
Yeah, that's always good.
So yeah, that was it for me. What about you, Glenn? What was your positive?
I've had a lot of things to be thankful for. My son, he started college a year early. He took his senior year at college, which was good, and he got straight A's. So
wow,
I was like, wow. I mean, I couldn't even get straight A's if there's only a letter of the alphabet, but he did. So I was very happy for that. No, all the friends, all the people in the community. I mean, there's so many great people out there I've been talking to over the past year and even longer. But obviously, we have Gary, who's with the Arcade Workshop, working on the Build-A-Cade, which is one of my projects I've wanted to do for forever. Those are my
I remember
passion
you
project.
talking about that project for a long time,
right?
Several years actually.
Right.
So yeah,
and that's doing very well. We're making more enhancements to it. We have magnetic enclosures for the extra controllers, so you can now use them externally versus having to put them inside the machine, just clip together, which is kind of nice. Right. That's probably the best. And just the people we talk to, everybody in the chat. I mean, everyone, they send me emails and they message me on Facebook. They're just great. So for me, I'll say the community, because you know what? And let's go to my one, which I think now is a negative for 2023. When I was watching, Kong's live stream, he had John D on there, and sometimes stuff he says just gets me. He said in there he wants to continue building the community. That guy has done jack shit to build the community. If anything, he's caused more chaos in the community. So when I read that, my eyes popped out. I'm like, John D has done nothing for the community aside from be toxic to the community. So that was my negative for 2022. Let's go, Bill. What was your negative for 2022?
Let me think about this. Because there have been a few. So let me.
Just a minute. Gotta get my list.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. As fun as doing this has been, it's been a lot of work and stuff. And obviously this is a side project for me. I have a day job, but that day job has gotten more and more demanding, lots of work for less pay.
Yeah. Is that nice?
So, I mean, if anything, just feeling like, I'm getting older and getting burned out on the stuff I do from day to day is probably the biggest negative. And I know that sounds like a real downer, but we're talking negative. So there
we
you
are.
go.
That is it. Steven, what about you?
Well, I'm not sure if I want to talk about it here. Glenn knows what happened this year for me. I'll keep it. I won't say PG because nothing bad happened in a sense, but I've been unemployed for most of 2022, dealing with mental health and stuff like that. And I'll be honest, every Friday, this has been the cure in a sense. So I want to thank everybody for helping me out through it, because, I've dealt with, I say this year, never before in my life, but this year, dealt with depression in a way that I had never dealt with it before. And I don't want to get too sappy.
Like getting a
or
Marvel vs.
anything.
Capcom 2 and not working right, that kind of depression, like all the way down.
No, worse than that, actually. But, truth be told, this show has helped me. Coming on here and distracting me and everything. It's been great. So I wanted to thank everybody. So the negative became a positive, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
It
So
does.
dealing with that. And thank you, Glenn, for doing this show with me and stuff like that. And it's helped me out quite a bit. So I'm thankful, too. So the negative most of the year has turned into a positive thing, which is great. So, yeah. So negative wise, I wish I was a little richer, I guess. I had more money like most people, but that's about it. So.
Well, I should ask, how did Christmas treat you guys this year? I mean, did you get everything Santa? Did you get everything you wanted from Santa this year?
You asking? Go, Bill. Go ahead.
No.
Bill's nodding no. It's like,
no, it was good. It was good. Like
I was gonna say, Bill lives with Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Good.
Look, for me, more often, see, the funny thing is, like in my house, I'm the Christmas shopper, not my wife, not anybody else. I'm the one who goes out and gets all the stuff because I love it. I love shopping. I always set a budget for myself. I always go over it because I just like getting gifts for people. So I almost don't, half the time I almost don't care about what I get. But I did buy myself a nice present that I'm still waiting for it to come in. I did get an At Games Legends pinball.
Nice.
Because Sam's Club had a crazy price on it.
The full size, right? Not the mini. You got the full size one.
The full size one. Yep. For $400, it just seemed like a really, really good deal. So I'm excited to get that and play around with it.
Cool.
Gonna wind up getting the Vibs board for it, put a PC on it, all that good stuff that everybody does to them. So that's gonna be fun to play with.
And that's what I was working on all day today. It's like I was talking to Steven about this before. Visual pin MAME is such a pain, and I can't even say the right words.
Well, that product's really old too. Like
It
it's
is.
an
But
old product.
You think being 20 years old or something like that, they would have made it a little bit easier to use. It is.
I think
still,
it's about that 20 years old.
Yeah, it's still an absolute nightmare. I got it working. I have it working on a 32-inch, TV I've laying down. I'm trying to get the stupid back glass, MDM and the back glass to come up, and it is just a nightmare. It's just a nightmare. But I mean, it plays well on the main screen. The pinballs are fine, the balls are fine. But I literally wasted that was today. I was supposed to be cleaning. Not that I mind. I was supposed to be cleaning showers today. Going in the rooms, cleaning all the showers, doing all that stuff that we men do, clean showers.
Mm-hmm.
But I started saying, I'll do this just for like 2 hours. I get set up and I'll go do it. I spent all day pulling out the few hairs left in my head that I had, and I still don't have it right. I want to have it for tomorrow night. I want to be able to play pinball on New Year's Eve, do some pinball. But yeah, so what Bill did was the right thing to do. He went and spent $400, which is probably saving me lots of money if I just went and bought the $400 pinball machine at Sam's Club. Then pulling my hair out, and then the wood's already on there, and it already looks like a pinball machine. Mine's just laying on the floor with the monitor up against the wall. But so Bill did the sensible thing, and I did the stupid thing, and wasted the day.
Wow.
Now, how about you guys in the chat? Start putting down in the chat. Like, what was your big highlight, the good thing of 2022, and then your bad thing of 2022? Put that in the chat.
Yeah, put that in the chat. I want to read some of this stuff. It's going to be fun to read that, especially Paul. Paul seems like always a chipper guy, and he'd probably be like, "Screw these people" or whatever. I'm expecting that. I'm just expecting that. So,
okay. So
for me, Christmas was pretty. I was actually cleaning. So I was going through I was cleaning, but not cleaning.
Oh,
in your sense of a shower.
Oh,
I'm going through my bins of consoles. Like, what am I doing with 6 PlayStation 2s and 5 NESs?
You're supposed to give it to your friends, Steven. That's what you're supposed to do with those PlayStations. Come on.
Well, I just finished saying I was poor, so maybe I'll sell them to my friends. So I started going through all that stuff.
You need to put them in bags, is what you need to do. You need to put them in bags.
Like Glenn.
Yeah, got to put them in bags. Jen bought me like 500 bags, so I got extras. I'll send you some.
There you go. No, Christmas was that, and I asked not much for Christmas. I asked for 4K Blu-rays this Christmas.
Nice.
Anything Star Wars, anything Marvel.
No, that is the wrong thing. I can't believe you said that. Not anything DVD Star
No,
Wars.
no. Oh, sorry. Whoa. I said start with the classic 3
Okay.
of Star
There you
Wars.
go.
Okay.
And then go to the prequels if you're running out of money, and then the sequels if you have if you've run out of stuff to buy. So I ended up getting, for my son, he bought me New Hope in 4K and
Nice.
Empire Strikes Back. So my wife and I watched on, I think it was the 27th, we watched Empire Strikes Back in 4K HDR.
Oh,
Holy Moses, that
nice.
looks amazing.
Yeah, it does.
So it looks great,
Yeah.
So, and my son bought me, the Phantom Menace, because he couldn't get Return of the Jedi. So that was that. My wife bought me Thor: Love and Thunder. My daughter bought me Doctor Strange, Marvel, the Madness, the new one.
Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, Multiverse of Madness. So she basically. So I got 5 4K Blu-rays out of my wish list from Amazon. So I was a happy camper. I'm not hard to please, So it's all good. So what have we getting good comments down in the bottom there?
Well, people are still putting
Yeah, we're
stuff
getting a few. Yeah.
They are. So, what was, I guess, your favorite thing in the gaming world? I know you got the pinball machine, but that's not even put together yet. So, what was your highlight this year? Was it the Marvel Capcom 2 that you have behind you? Was it something else? What do you got going on there, Bill?
Let me think about that. What was? I'd say I've actually really been enjoying my iArcade. I mean, I went, they had those big sales on the games for the last 2 months. And I went to town on that and just filled the sucker full of, all the games that I thought were going to be cool. So I've been really having a lot of fun playing all those games on there. So right now, that's probably the machine that gets played the most right now. Like I said, I love the Marvel vs. Capcom.
I got a question for you for the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 machine.
Yeah.
What's in there? Is there what other games are in there? Is it just that game, or is there other ones?
Let me think now. So it's Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Marvel vs. Capcom, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes, and Children of the Atom. Those are the 6 main Capcom Marvel fighters
Capcom stuff
on it. And then it's got Mutant Apocalypse and War of the Gems, which are 2 like NES or Super NES console games.
Okay.
On there, which are okay. I don't play those that much. I like the fighters a little more. I wish they had been able to get the Punisher on there. It's like the one Marvel Capcom game that I feel is missing from it, because that
was a CPS1 game, wasn't it?
They had that. Well, they had that on another console. Prior to this, they did like 2 or 3 other machines that had all those same games on it, but like split up. Like one had like 4 games, the other had like another 4 games on it. This is the first one they've done that's put like all of them together on one machine.
Oh, gotcha.
Except for the Punisher, and apparently that was a licensing thing. Disney didn't want them to do Punisher for whatever reason.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, because I have the Children of the Atom original arcade board, and I have Marvel vs. Capcom original arcade board. So I'm wondering what other ones that you had there. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool that they included all those ones. So
yeah, I love Children of the Atom. I remember I had that on PC years ago, back in the day. It was one of the first fighters to come out, and they had it on the computer, and I remember playing that and having so much fun with it. So it's great to have it on an arcade machine.
Capcom makes great fighting games.
They do.
For sure. So
I have a big question. I got a big question for you too, and this is just a damn serious question. Okay, I've had arguments. I've had arguments with family members about this. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? And I want in the chat.
100% yes.
Okay, so 1s if Die Hard is a Christmas movie, 0s if it's not. I had arguments all week. My son was I'm not watching it.
I heard one of the best arguments, and I forget if it was on TikTok or YouTube Short or whatever, from a guy basically saying, if you deny that Die Hard's a Christmas movie, you also have to deny that Home Alone is a Christmas movie because they're basically the same movie.
You know what? That's actually not a bad thing to say right there. But
Somewhat, I guess.
You think about it, there's a lot of similarity.
Oh, Sir Sega said no. He gave 0. He said no, it's not.
If I had to choose, I'm on the fence about it because, like you guys said, Home Alone is considered a Christmas movie, but there's no Santa Claus.
Oh, sorry, was that Steven? What's that, Steven? Oh, I can't.
Oh, we lost you there.
Oh, Steven. Oh, something happened to Steven. I don't know. Oh, we lost Steven.
No, but you know what, though? I do enjoy, but if I were to peg one movie to be a Christmas movie, would be Elf or Christmas Vacation.
Oh,
those are my go-to.
Oh, absolutely.
Sir Sega, I agree with him. I agree with Sir Sega because the original Lethal Weapon was also Christmas time. So I would say, yeah, Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie, and so is Die Hard. So Sir Sega's back in the game. I appreciate it.
So Gremlins would be a Christmas movie too.
Oh, Gremlins is absolutely a Christmas movie.
And
totally.
Pliskin's Run just said that Bruce Willis said it's not, but we all know he's not feeling well. No, he left. So we'll take that as he's not feeling well. That's okay.
We'll comp it out as delusional medical condition. But yeah, like there's a lot of movies that you're like, okay, it's in Christmas time, and sure,
I love reading the people in the chat. I mean, these guys are
Christmas.
My thing is like really small, so I'm like trying to read.
This is perfect. At Christmas Eve, you watch Gremlins, Lethal Weapon, Die Hard. You're done. There you go. There's your Christmas movies right there. You can stop with all those. Perfect.
Yep.
That's a man's Christmas
house,
for you.
Christmas Vacation is the go-to one, though. The one that we end up going on is Christmas Vacation.
And then, what's funny?
Die Hard's there too.
Christmas Vacation, of course, it is. I'm talking about. So many people say that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. I mean, they're playing the weather outside is frightful. So starting off with a Christmas song in the beginning, you end it that way. Mm-hmm. It's Christmas time. They're having a Christmas party. Right. Guys are doing cocaine. The sales guy. That's Snow.
There you go.
It's all Christmas. It's all Christmas.
Yeah, he writes on the guy's sweater. Now I have a machine gun. Ho ho ho.
Yeah,
there you go.
Exactly. So Bill, again. So I think we're in agreement that we could put down Gremlins. We could put down Lethal Weapon 1. And Die Hard 1, and maybe even 2, because Die Hard 2 also took place mysteriously.
Die Hard 2 is also Christmas. Yes, it is.
And we have to thank the Rexha Show for joining us.
I guess.
It's okay. So I'm glad that that's now settled. That is now settled. So Jen, it's settled. Die Hard, Christmas movie next year. 24 hours of Die Hard. Like they have 24 hours of Christmas Story. 24 hours of Die Hard.
Now I've got a question for both of you guys. So we're talking about New Year's. So any New Year's resolutions or things you want to achieve 2023?
That's a good question.
Looking forward, right, versus we harped on the negatives and we wish they would die and burn in hell. But what about the future? You know what I mean?
It's one of those things where
start with you, Glenn.
Do people ever stick with the New Year's resolutions ever?
No, the diets don't work. Everybody I know who's did the diet thing in February, they're emptying the fridge. So forget that. But I'm talking something attainable, I guess, realistically.
Yeah.
Well, I guess for me, I kind of do this every year. People who have wronged you, or people who have done things despicable, try and you forgive them the following year. That's probably a normal New Year's resolution, right? To forgive those who maybe have crossed you. Personally, this year, my resolution is to not do that.
Not to do that?
Not to do that. You're on Glenn's shit list.
I predicted that one.
Yeah. You're on Glenn's shit list. You're going to stay now on Glenn's shit list. That's my New Year's resolution. So if you've been a complete scumbag, put your company name in there, wherever. No,
I've known you for a long time. That's effort to get on that list.
Yeah, but I have a sneaky suspicion that's a resolution he'll keep.
Yeah, I'm going to keep that one for sure. Bill, how about you?
I'm not big on the resolution thing. Again, for that same reason, it's like never seem to stick with them or whatever. It's like, look, if I feel like I want to change something about me or what's going on around me, why do I have to wait for like an arbitrary day to do it? You know what I mean?
I like the way Bill thinks. Bill, that's good there. But do you stick with it when you make these changes? Do you stick with them when you do it?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. So it's basically the same thing. I'm just not waiting until January 1st to do it.
Well, an early start on the year is a good thing too.
Sure.
Let's start tomorrow.
There you go.
I can't believe tomorrow's already New Year's Eve. I really can't believe it. It's like this year, just like the 2020 have just been like a steamroll effect. I just want to know when it's going to be back to semi-normal. I still go out to the stores. People still wearing masks, and I get it, and I get it. It's still a thing, but it's like we're become such a separate society now. Keep your distance. Stay away from me. Yeah. Someone sneezes, you want to go punch him in the head. How dare you sneeze or cough? Or someone says I have a cold. It's now almost like
every known cough is COVID now.
Yeah. So
that's a regular cold. No, you got COVID. No. It's like, what happened? All the old colds retired. All those viruses retired. Doesn't make any sense to me. So,
what about you, Stephen? What's your resolution this year?
Just to try new things more. As you get older, you get stuck in your ways. I don't know about you guys, but I find that as you get older, you're putting on the same pair of shoes as you did. You know what I mean? All the same stuff. And, I want to break out of that.
What's wrong with some repetitivity? What's wrong with that? When you're playing a game like Donkey Kong and Pac-Man, you want to know those repetitions. So what is wrong with that?
I want to try new things.
Be careful. New things.
Not those kind of new things, Glenn.
Oh,
not those kind of new things. This is a family show, Glenn. Not just new things in general.
Maybe keep it at least PG-13
channel. Maybe start my YouTube channel that I've been talking to Glenn for 2-3 years now. Possibly doing one, and I don't know what it is, stage fright or whatever. So I don't know. Who knows? So, anyways, new things.
Yeah.
2023, new things.
Hey, look, you're on here every week, and you guys are great together. I think you should do it.
He is, and he keeps changing. His camera keeps changing. It's driving me crazy. It goes big, it goes small.
It's my phone, and it sits right here. I don't know what's going on. iPhone 13. I don't know what the hell's going on. Blame the iPhone on Skype on here. Doesn't it has more decency to tell me Glenn is using a device that could record or broadcast this call. I don't care about that.
Don't tell people that.
Stop scaling the damn image, So, but anyways, yeah. So it's all good. So, and then have more Amiga time in the new year to mess around with my Commodore Amigas, stuff like that. Keeping it low profile. I want to hear the chat here. If the people went, I want to kill my boss or something like that, or 2023, let's go, or whatever. Did we get anything like that?
No, everyone loves the boss.
Oh, man.
Or maybe they're watching it and the bosses watch the same show, perhaps. I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah, we'll see. So who else we got? We got some new people in there, right?
We'll start reading off some people. There are some new people in there.
Well, dude, they're like really tiny on my phone here. So I can't barely see anything. Usually I have my two monitors at home.
We have Chris Nelson. We got Bobby Broadway. We got Upkus. We got Pliskin's Run. We got Tim D6. Tim, big shout out to Tim. He's a really good guy. Nooner, Bonafide Picker. Who else we got in here? Andy Game Room. John T. Chance. If I miss, I'm sorry. We have Jennifer White in here. We have Mary Parker in here. The Rexer Show. Paul's in here. Bobby's in here. Andy's in here. One Real Nerd is here. Who else we got? Sir Sega.
I saw Rich Waldello, Goofy Foot.
Dick Watson. Chris Nelson.
Glenn, you have to say Sir Sega. Like, Sega. You have to say it like
Sir
that.
Sega.
You have to. Like, there you go. That's the way you got to say that. You can't just say it's Sir Sega. It's,
So we got a very good crew as usual.
Good gang there, it seems.
Always got a good gang in here.
That's good. So anybody else They got New Year's resolutions. Put it in the chat if you got New Year's resolutions. Keep it rated PG.
Sheila just joined.
All right.
Sheila, get a little hooch and join us. It's New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve. It's a big day, New Year's Eve, isn't it?
Sure, absolutely.
Well, do you two? Let's put it to you this way. I mean, me, I don't go out for New Year's Eve. I stay home. I go home. We'll put on maybe It's a Wonderful Life. It's definitely Die Hard now. I've won the Christmas thing, and I get to watch that. So, what do you two generally do on New Year's Eve? Do you stay home? Do you go out? Do you party? Do you steal a police car and go to Vegas and all kinds of weird things happen? I mean, what do you guys do?
Go ahead, Bill. I want to hear your Vegas trip.
No, nothing really. I mean, I usually stay home, watch the ball drop at the Times Square, and then turn it off immediately because I can't stand the crap that comes on afterwards that's supposed to be music anymore. God, I'm getting old.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, we are getting old. The stuff that's called crap. Oh, excuse me, music.
It's funny because my parents' music wasn't horrible. Like I could listen to my parents' music; it wasn't bad. Mine was better, but the new stuff now is crap.
It's hardly effort. There's not much effort. It seems that's what it looks like to me. It's like effortless songwriting. You know what I mean? Just winging it kind of thing. So here, basically, depends where I am with the New Year's stuff. If I'm at my father-in-law's and mother-in-law's, they usually break out the Zambuca and start giving everybody shots.
Nice.
There you go.
That stuff is gasoline, basically, in a shot glass.
I got to ask Stephen because I know, like in America, Thanksgiving's on a certain day, but in Canada, Thanksgiving's on a different day. Now our New Year's, Stephen, is tomorrow night. When does Canada have its New Year's?
It's the same.
It's
the same. It is. It is.
I'm shocked.
That's pretty cool.
There's more drinking going on than the U.S., I think.
I figured with it being metric and all that stuff, you guys may have had a different.
No, it's the same.
Different time.
It's the same.
Does
you guys have leap
Does
year?
it happen at midnight? Does it still happen at midnight, or does it happen like metrically outside of the midnight?
The lights actually went off in the year 2000 for the Y2K bug.
Oh, in Canada, did it really?
No. My check this out. So this is a funny story. My father-in-law's brother works for the hydro company, the electric company.
Okay.
And he actually went on the pole outside and pulled the breaker on the pole. So the entire house went black right at midnight. And everybody thought, that basically, the Y2K bug. Yeah. And then they went, oh, wait a minute. He's missing the bastard. They basically curse him. So,
yep.
But here, basically, it depends on, like, if it's my parents, it's low key, watch movies, that sort of thing. My wife's side of the family, they break out the booze, the food. By the time you go to bed at, 1 o'clock or whatever, you're full, like you're stuffed pig kind of full.
That's usually what you go out to a family's
drunk.
house. You generally eat and drink. That's usually what you do if you go out to a family house.
And you're a little drunk too, Then you go to bed and you hope the room doesn't spin too fast, and that's about it. Yeah, so it depends.
Sheila posted she got her Cubert. I'm very proud that she got Cubert as well. I saw you just messaged her out. New Wave Toys.
That's
Cubert.
the little ones there.
Yeah, New Wave Toys make some really good stuff, and that Cubert was definitely a nice one that they made. They make some great stuff. I like the 2 missile commands. I know some people were.
She and I are almost even now. She convinced me I had to get MVC2. I convinced her she had to get Cubert.
Well, the good thing about the New Wave Toys is it doesn't take up a lot of space. You can put it up on a shelf and she did. She actually purchased a Build-A-Cade. So I hope she's gonna be just as excited for that Build-A-Cade as the Cubert. And actually, we are going to make a diagonal joystick for those type of games like Congo Bongo and Cubert. That's coming out as well. We have a lot of stuff planned for 2023. In fact, I'll let the cat out of the bag. The Akari Warriors, I should be getting that in a week or so. So that joystick will work with Akari Warriors. It'll work with Frontline and many other games that require either a joystick with a push-pull 12 or 8-way rotation.
Wow.
Stick. So now we're hoping to have it done obviously this year, but it didn't happen. But that'd be one of the first products for 2023 will be the Akari Warrior stick is coming out. We have many more things still in the pipeline still for 2023, but
Here's
right
a
now,
dumb question first. You have a dual joystick setup, like for Robotron and the car and
oh yeah, and the Build-A-Cade, sure.
not Akari.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, I forgot to. I saw every other iteration, but I must have missed that one. But
Yeah.
For what was the karate game that you used the 2 joysticks?
Karate Champ.
Karate Champ. That was
Karate Champ.
that
that's
was
what it was.
that was Scott Baccarat's like favorite game, and Burger Time was on it. But then so many people said, "What? Burger King should be the bigger game." Then he redid the Akari Warrior machine and turned it to Burger Time.
Mhm.
That's funny.
I played Akari not Akari Wars. I'm sorry, Karate Champ a couple of times. It just never really excited me. So I understand why people would rather have Burger Time. That was definitely a bigger game.
Oh, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
more popular for sure.
Yeah.
That game
Oh,
was
yeah.
way more popular than Karate Champ had its moments. It was
Mhm.
hard to play a little bit with the 2 joysticks, but Robotron was my favorite 2 joystick game. That was the kicker with that stuff. So
Robotron,
that's pretty cool.
I'm weird. I love Crazy Climber. I know a lot of people kind of forget about that one, but I love Crazy Climber. It's just one of those weird, quirky games. Dual
Yeah.
joysticks and Battlezone. Battlezone is 2-stick tank style games. Use two joysticks. Are the good ones as well.
Yeah, I remember growing up. My cousin had one of those mini games that played Crazy Climber,
Yes.
and that was a lot of fun. I used to love playing that. That thing was really cool.
There was a home version of the Atari 2600, and it's like it gets so butchered. It was one joystick. But it was Crazy
Of
Climber.
course.
And at the time, you could only get it if you belonged to the Atari Club. Like you sign up to Atari Club, it was like $30 if you belonged to. And I didn't belong to the Atari Club, believe it or not. I loved Atari, but I was never into clubs back then, and I wasn't into those type of cults. So I couldn't get it. But I got to say, the NES.
Is that what they're called? Cults?
Yeah, but the NES actually had a really good version of Crazy Climber for the NES, but it wasn't available in the States. It was only really for the regular Famicom. But of course, with emulators now and flash carts, you can play it over here, and did a really nice job with that game.
That's cool. What are we looking at for time? Because I don't have a clock.
Oh my God, are you watching the clock, Steven? It's only 8:39. My God,
I'm
man,
not.
you're
good.
rushing the
You got a
year
little bit
away.
of time left.
I'm not rushing it here away. Shut your pile. No, sorry. No, the reason I wanted to ask Bill some questions on the stuff we usually talk about is a bit more, more of our show's flavor, if you will. We were talking a bit before the show.
Mhm.
So, if there was one game you had to take a bullet for,
Oof.
and you were on a shooting line, and you were like, "Okay, I'm going to play this one game. That's it." And on your deathbed or whatever, what would it be? Arcade, console, whatever. Hell, I'll even take a board game. Your go-to,
My go-to. God, there's so many games that I grew up playing.
Everybody gets tripped up on this question, Bill. Don't worry.
I know. Oh,
because there's there's so many.
There really
it's like
are
going to a buffet
so
and
many.
only picking one thing in the buffet.
That's hard.
Yeah, I know. I've been saying this one
any
for
platform,
a while.
anything.
If there was one game I would love to get on a home version, and the problem with it is it would have to be just the one game, and it's so stupid, but I loved playing it. Crossbow in the arcades.
Oh, really?
Crossbow.
Yeah, with that gun
I'm not
shooter
familiar with at all.
It was a gun shooter game, but the shooter was looked like a crossbow, and the whole thing was it was just these little Dungeons and Dragons type characters. You had your an elf and a wizard and they would walk across the screen, and you had to protect them by shooting at the things that were coming down to try to kill them. And then it had a branching storyline where you could go into the mountains or you could go to the castle. And it was just, I don't know. It was just, that was whenever I went to an arcade, if they had crossbow, I was sitting and I was playing that game. And I loved it.
Wow.
And they'll never make it for a home machine, because what other game could you put on there with that crossbow shaped controller. I mean, okay, they could probably put it on a shooter cab with just a shooter gun, but it wouldn't be the same. You need that, you need that mechanic that looks like the crossbow, and it's an oldie.
I have to admit, Bill, that is the
early
most unique
early
response
80s
we've ever gotten on this show.
I'd have to look it up. It's got to be early 80s that game came out, because the graphics are not the best.
That you know what? It's funny. This is the most unique answer we've gotten. Usually, people have the go-to typicals. You know what I mean? Like the comfortable shoes games, if you will.
Yeah.
Pac-Man or whatever. But you went out and picked that unique one that scratched that itch or whatever it was or whatever. Which is pretty cool. And so, what about you, Glenn? Is it Crazy Climber?
If it's a game I'm going to play over and over and over again, what do I always go back to?
If you had to be locked up in a room and they would give you one game, that's it, that you had to play in your asylum room, padded room,
Asylum.
with your jacket that gives you a hug forever, which game would it be? Then again, if you're wearing a stray jacket, then you would be able to play. But whatever.
Asteroids.
Imagination.
It would be Asteroids.
Really, Asteroids?
Yeah. Asteroids. That's a game
drives me
where
nuts.
you're constantly being challenged on it, and not every game is the same twice. It's random. It'd be Asteroids.
The 2600 version or the arcade version?
It has to be the arcade version.
They're close to the same. They're close to the same, but one's the the vector based one or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd want the arcade. I'd want the arcade.
Oh, wow.
Your cell phone is driving me nuts, Steven. It's driving me absolutely insane.
Dude, I don't know what's happening. I'm not touching anything, not even touching the screen. Put a little lock on the camera and the OBS.
I do, and it still goes blip, blip.
Oh, it does. Wow. Okay. That I can't control.
It's like your
dude.
game.
It must be. You know what I think it is that the bandwidth gets interrupted and it rescales the image to compensate for the bandwidth.
I'll give you a real answer. It's an iPhone. That's the answer.
Sure, it was fine last
iPhone.
time you and I did this, if you recall. So it's but anyways, yeah. So for me, you know what? I'm like you guys. I don't know what that would be exactly, but if I had to pick just one, I think it would have to be a game called Archon on the Commodore 64.
Okay.
Archon. I'm not familiar with that one.
Basically, it's like a battle chess sort of thing.
Yep.
Where basically you have a chessboard.
So a nerd
You don't
game.
have to know how to play
Gotcha. Total nerd
You don't
game.
have
I got
to
no
know how to play
reflexes,
chess.
no good graphics.
Oh,
Nerd
there's
game.
reflexes. Trust me. No. Archon is a chess game, but what happens is you fight for the spot.
Right.
So you go on the spot, and then the game breaks out like on a one-on-one shooting game and a melee or whatever. And I'll give you an example. Like there's a unicorn on one side and a knight with a club. Well, the unicorn shoots his horns like really fast, but the guy with the club, he just has a club. But if you take out the unicorn with the guy with the club, well, the guy with the club gets the spot.
Gotcha.
So each spot is occupied by a powerful whatever character you end up using. One can morph into the same character. There's all these different things, and it's simple. Hours of fun. It's great.
Yeah.
So if I had to pick one,
it was a very interesting game if I remember, because there's a lot of strategy involved, but then there's that action element too of the fighting.
That's right. It's not just chess. Glenn in his head, he goes, "Oh, it's chess. It's boring." No. You don't even have to know how to play chess. I didn't know how to play chess when I played that game. And what you do is the game, if you get on top, with a knight on top of a serpent or whatever, they had these different characters. Well, the knight could kill the serpent. He's underpowered, but if you had the reflexes and enough gumption to kill the other guy, you got the spot. So it didn't matter if in chess, no matter what, that character takes over the spot, right?
Right.
This is like no.
Right.
Yeah, this is like no. You fight for the spot, and it becomes like
cool.
Yeah. You should try it. Archon. It's a lot of fun. So it's I've recently played it again on my Commodore 64. So lots of fun, lots and lots of fun. So that's pretty cool. So that's I'm hoping New Year 2023 we'll have better Star Wars shows or movies.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah.
You know?
I've been hearing some back and forth.
And Henry
on-
Cavill's not Superman anymore. What the
Yeah,
hell's
they'll
going on?
change
This
it again in
world's
a
turning
week.
to shit.
They'll change that in a week. They'll bring him back. I personally, I was never that big on the dark DC verse. I know Batman, that was fine, but all the characters were not normally dark, dreary characters.
That's right.
And I think that's really why DC got butthurt over like Marvel. Marvel characters always were, drunks, wife beaters, children molesters.
Which one's the wife beater, Glenn?
Actually, Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man was a
Yeah.
wife beater?
He actually, yes, they had a
Oh,
storyline.
I'm selling all
where
my
he-
Ant-Man movies.
So
the original
wife
Hank-
beater.
correct, the original.
The original Hank. Yeah.
Right, Hank. Right.
Yeah.
So the Marvel characters were always flawed in a way where anything that they did was still true to the characters. The DC
Gotcha.
movies, other than The Dark Knight, even Ben Affleck, Martha was kind of took it down a notch.
That was
Yeah.
dumb.
It was really
Yeah.
stupid.
That was stupid.
But and I'm using a gun because Batman doesn't use a gun, but Ben Affleck was using a gun. So
Yeah.
the dark DC is not fitting with how the characters are, which is why the movie
the
sucks.
Snyderverse, they call
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it just
Yeah.
was just bad call. So do you think? Let's talk about that. Do you think that they're still talking about doing DC films like they just did Black Adam, which I kind of thought was okay, nothing.
I haven't
great.
watched.
okay,
I haven't
yeah.
watched that yet. I gotta sit down
Okay,
and watch
so
that.
It's
Well,
decent.
It's
That's what I've
watchable.
heard.
I
Yeah.
watched it once, but if you guys ever watch the animated DC stuff, the Tim, I can't think of his last name, Tim something, who does all the animated DC stuff. That stuff is fantastic. If they simply
Mhm.
put real people to the animated storyline, they'd be raking in the money, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's weird
DC
that
kills
they
it
don't
in the
follow
animated
thing.
realm, and Marvel kills it in the live action because the Marvel animated stuff has
Yeah.
always been, other than some of the old '90s shows.
Yeah, they were good. Well, you know what?
The newer Marvel animated stuff has been
It's
very
horrible.
so-so.
It's horrible. But like
Um,
maybe 8 years ago, they had like some Avengers cartoons, which were actually
That's
pretty
right.
good. They were
Yeah, those
really
weren't bad.
good. And
Those weren't
then
bad.
each season, they got stupider and retarded, and they babyfied it, and it just got dumb.
Yeah, they've really tried to cater more to
Kids.
kids and younger kids with the Marvel animated stuff, whereas DC has
I think
been
DC kills
phenomenal
it
in
on
the
television
animated.
too. They kill it on television too, like the Flash, Arrow. It's better than Marvel on television. I'll tell you that. Live action television.
Right.
And like the Flash, if you guys ever haven't watched it, it gets woke towards the end, but in the beginning, it's awesome. So it's
Yeah, those shows started out good. They got a little, agree. They
get a little
started
we'll
to get a
call it
little
woke.
woke by the end for sure.
Yeah, and that's the sad part with that stuff. That's I'm hoping in 2023 that they figured out by now that what is it the CLA saying? If you go woke, go broke.
That's
You know,
exactly
it's-
it. And they are.
That's apparently the saying. So
Yeah.
So if you go woke, you go broke. Meaning,
Yeah.
don't do it. It's not worth it.
Steven, Apkus asked which Flash? Which Flash you talking about? The one on
Okay, so
WB, like the Warner Brothers
And
one?
the CW
Yeah, the
one.
new one. The new one. Yeah,
The
not the one with the guy that was in the new one too. What plays his dad, which is the original Flash from I guess the 90s.
mm,
If I'm not mistaken. Not that one.
Yes.
That was okay too, but the new one I'm talking about. The one that's had what, 8 seasons? 6, 8 seasons or whatever.
yeah, the one
You
that's
know.
currently on CW. This is the last year coming up for that one.
I was
Yeah,
trying
that's
to
gonna
watch.
end
I knew about the Flash. That was good. And I knew that the Arrowverse was like really good. And I tried watching the one where it was a bunch of characters going after Marvel Savage. I can't think of the name of the show.
The Tomorrow-
Legends of Tomorrow.
Right. I
Yeah.
watched like the first season. I couldn't. It was just. Ugh.
That's
So I-
when the woke started. Is on that.
I stopped
show, think.
watching it. But then they did the multiverse, right? You know, Superman from different universes was coming in.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna watch this, and I watched 2 episodes. I'm like, I'm not watching this, and I jumped right back out. And it's a shame because that really would have been something special, I think, if they did
Yeah,
it
they
right.
tried to do the whole. Well, they tried to do their take on Crisis on Infinite Earth, and it had some
Right,
good
Crisis
stuff.
on Infinite Earths type of storyline,
It
right?
did have some good stuff on it. It was cool seeing them bring back Tom Welling for one, but
Right.
Smallville.
He-
Smallville,
but-
right.
But he wasn't
even got
Superman
Brandon
anymore.
Routh
He
in
had
the
given
suit
up
again.
his powers.
Oh, he did the Superman 2 give up his powers
Yes.
for Lois type of thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and they got Brandon Routh in the suit too.
Yes. To
He
do,
usually
he
plays
was the Kingdom
not
Come
Ant-Man, but whatever equivalent.
Mhm.
The Atom,
Yes.
I guess.
I like him.
So.
I think he's a good actor. I like his
Brandon Routh's
goofy
cool,
take
yeah.
on
But
stuff.
it's just such a shame because this, the story is what's going to take it, not the characters. And the stories are just piss poor stories. They're not written well. So it doesn't matter if you got Superman. Doesn't matter if you got anyone in there. If it doesn't have a good story, don't worry, Steven. You're okay. We still got 8 minutes. You're good.
No, it's not that. It's my battery came up and said 20% battery life left. So if I suddenly disappear,
Nah, you'll make the next 8 minutes. We'll go up. We'll go off. We'll go up like at New Year's, but
Happy New Year
9
if I don't see you again. So,
But those are things that do bother me. I don't mind you retelling a story. I don't mind if you're doing it, but you got to be true to the character because the people who like those characters are going to be the older people. The young kids, they'll watch it, but they're not the fans that have been following for 30, 40 years. So if you're going to take that storyline down a shitter, not going to watch it. I know a lot of people have been enjoying Avatar. I personally didn't think the new Avatar was that good. I preferred the original. I thought the new one was okay. I watched it. Nothing. Well, I'm going to watch like 5 more sequels over or whatever he made. Maybe you guys feel differently, but I personally didn't think that new Avatar was that great.
New one yet.
I haven't seen the new one yet. I'll be honest. I wasn't a huge fan of the first one. The first one was worth seeing in the theaters in 3D for the novelty of what that movie was and the effects. The storyline,
technological achievements.
the storyline was way too, we're killing the planet. The colonizers are awful.
I thought it was basic, very basic
and it was
story.
And I'm sorry, it's just James Cameron's gotten to the point where he makes the same movie over and over and over again.
Hey, at least the Terminators didn't show up. But hey, what
Actually,
about Star Wars?
that might have been
There's
not too
Batch
bad.
coming out. Glenn, there's Bad Batch coming out. I don't know if you're a Star Wars
Yep,
fan.
no,
Bill,
Oh,
but,
Bad Batch is great. I love
Bad
the first
Batch.
season
Bad
of
Batch
that.
is good. Me personally, Clone Wars and Rebels were the pinnacle.
Bad Batch is pretty
for
good.
them.
I liked it.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
What is it? The second season that's coming, right?
Yep.
Is it third or second?
I thought it was a third season.
Second.
Second.
Second. They've only done one.
Oh, that's right.
I
They
mean,
run
the Bad
Rebels
Batch because
They
they
run
started. They
Rebels.
started out on that final season of Clone
Clone
Wars that they
Wars.
did,
That's right.
and then they spun them off into their own show. What
I
I'm a
actually
little
liked them.
disappointed. I will say I'm a little disappointed that it didn't. That they didn't follow it up with that Boba Fett series, because the whole thing with the Bad Batch is that was basically his sister,
Right.
the little girl that they
Right.
had, and they had a great opportunity to bring her into live action like they did with Ahsoka with Rosario Dawson playing her, and they didn't do it.
Not yet, anyway. But again,
No.
Boba Fett's been written so badly right now. I hope they fix the next season because the last season was crap.
Well, I think
Is
that's
there
a way they
another
could
season
fix
of
it.
Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Is there another
Is
season
there?
of
I
Book of Boba
hadn't
Fett
heard
coming?
they were going to do it for sure.
Yep.
But
As far as I
maybe.
know that they are, but they got to fix it because it was shit.
What a train wreck.
Yeah.
There was some
Not
good
good.
special effects,
It
but
was-
it was just we hit. Glenn and I went on and on about that show. It was like
Yeah.
But
I-
yeah, for sure, that's good.
Andor was probably the best of the Star Wars
I
shows.
haven't watched it yet. I heard a lot of people saying it kind of dragged on a little bit.
It starts out slow. It does start.
It's
The
dry
first
at
two
the
episodes
beginning.
start out a
Very
little slow,
dry.
but once it gets into some of the the whole heist storyline that goes on, and then he goes to prison, and there's all kinds of stuff that happens, and it gets much better. It definitely gets much better. And the nice thing is they actually don't leave it off where he's like the Andor you see from the movie. He's still got a ways to go. So they could definitely do a second season to try to
I think
get
they were
him there.
planning a couple seasons for that one.
Yeah.
So Collins want to wish everyone a happy new year. I want to make sure that we
Maybe.
do the same as well. He had a good stream last night. If everyone checked it out, you should go check out Kong's stream yesterday. There's some of the awards for 2022. They had some good ones in there. I think it might have been fixed. I think Michael B got a lot of questions right. I think it might have been fixed. I think maybe Kongs and him knew the answers beforehand. I don't know, but it was a good show. You like go explosives in my face? That's me getting pissed off at pretty much. I think John D. There we go. It just keeps coming out and exploding on my face. So basically, we're gonna have to end the show because Steven has not opened his gifts. I guess he's at his family's house. He's still opening Christmas gifts. So we're gonna end the show in a minute. We just want to wish all of you. We'll give
You
all
guys
the guys
can
a
keep
chance.
it going if you want.
No, without you, what's
can
worth
totally
it, man?
keep it going if you
No, we're at 9 o'clock. People have things, lives to
good.
do. But we want to wish everyone a very happy and safe New Year. And Steven, and
Yes,
give you guys a chance to say what you want to do to all the fans out there. Dead silence.
Talking to me. Hold on, I got to put my phone down. Hold on. Sorry. So thanks everybody for being part of the show this year. This is the last show of the year, but we'll be back next year. And if you guys have guest suggestions for us, that'd be good. You know, so thank you for making our little show here part of your lives. You know, so that's cool. Thank you, and thank you, Bill, for being on our show at the last minute.
Yeah.
So,
well, thanks for having me on. I definitely had a blast. This was a lot of fun. And Steven, it was great getting to actually talk to you live and not just in the chat.
Ditto. yeah, exactly. Ditto for sure. So want to thank everybody. So
I just want to again thank everyone. I have my 1,000 shows, 1,000 YouTube, Facebook channels, and everything like that. But you know, the group here is definitely the best group I have. You guys are great. I appreciate Bill coming on, or my co-host, and of course Steven, the work he's done. It's been a heck of a year once again. We've all made it.
An awesome year.
So congratulations to all of us for making it through 2022. You know, there's a lot of people struggling out there, whether it be family issues, whether it being money. You know, make sure they have a roof over their heads, or food, with because oil prices have gone up and food prices have gone up, gas prices have gone up. So it's definitely not been a good year for a lot of people. So my heart goes out, and best wishes go out to all of them and to all of you. You guys are family. I appreciate every one of you guys, and I hope you guys have a very safe and fun New Year's Eve. Don't start any fires, please. Don't cause any tragedy.
No pyrotechnics.
No pyrotechnics is it. But in all seriousness, we all want to thank you, Bill, Steven, myself, and bottom of our hearts, for following our channels, for watching our shows, commenting, and just being the best fucking people out there. And I did curse right there because you guys are that goddamn good.
One last curse before 2022 is over.
That was it. You guys are the best. I appreciate every one of you guys.
I think you're under your quota. You were allowed one last F-bomb before the end of the year.
I think so. And,
there you go. Yep.
You know, Kongs just did a super chat. Kongs, it wasn't necessary to do a super chat, but he said, thanks for a great year and providing some amazing mining products to the community, Glenn. Excited for GRS products in 2023, and there will be. But in all seriousness, you know,
thanks, B.
All of you guys are awesome out there. I can't say enough how much I appreciate you, and same for us up here. I really want you guys to have a great time with your families and friends. And, you know, if you do have some animosity to someone, really, I'm just joking before. Yeah, you know, you should
go
try
to their house like Clark Griswold.
No, seriously, you should try and bury the hatchets if you can, because you know life is too short. You know, and that's. I'm going to ramble on. I want to say thank you very much. I want to wish you guys the best. Steve, I'll let you guys and Bill get your last words in.
Go ahead, Bill.
Okay, again, just thank you guys so much for having me on. I had a blast. It was a lot of fun. You know, obviously, you know, Glenn and I, we do game time with She Lion and Tech Buzz, and you know, we've been off for a couple of weeks now, so I was itching to get live and talk to people. So I appreciate you letting me come on and be with you guys today. So thank you so much. Have a happy new year, everybody, and just looking forward to next year. Looking forward to some new stuff coming out, and getting to chat with all you guys. So thanks.
Cool. So I said a little bit before, but again, thank you for the year. You guys have helped me out more than you know. Struggling with a little mental health this year. You guys have been a bit of the cure, to be honest, without being too sappy or whatever. So thank you again. It means more than you guys think. And it's important to me. And being part of that, you guys should pat yourselves on the back, because indirectly you guys have helped me in a sense, you know, so it's all good. Stay positive. Don't kidnap your boss, like I suggested a minute ago, like Clark Griswold did. But stay safe, and have an amazing 2023, hopefully. So I'm going to sign off here.
We'll leave it on that
Take
note.
care.
Everyone, have a great New Year's. Be safe. Tell your family and friends that you love them. And remember, game on and have a great New Year, everyone.
Game on.
Game on.
At the Tiny Arcade fan page. Remember, don't admire people too much. They'll disappoint you.
Sit, Blue, sit.